looking at this hierarchy of difficulty within home recording, and to recognize, well, you're probably going to have trouble with your live drums. Oh, you want to have your drummer play on your record and you want to record yourself. Opportunity right there to say, well, why don't you guys come to my studio? You can record drums with me. You're going to struggle with that. I'll tell you what, I'll even mix the drums for you and give you pre-mixed stems.
I want to pause you right here, though. This is something I talk about a lot with my students is before you, that's called going for the killer. That's called throwing your name in the hat. That's actually asking for value from someone, although you are hopefully providing them better value than they can give themselves. I actually like doing whatever you can before you ever ask them to come record drums with you or whatever service you're trying to do. I actually like a lot more for you to try to help them achieve whatever they're trying to achieve, no strings attached first. So if someone is trying to record their album, you're going to ask, hey, what kind of gear are you working with? What is kind of the process behind what you're doing? And see where you can help them with the knowledge that you have and the resources that you have. And then if there's a point after you've added value first up front, where it makes sense to throw your name in the hat like Chris just talked about, only then do you actually do that.
I like that. Well, that's a more intense version of the Go-Giver.
Yeah.
To specifically coach them with no expectation of anything in return. And, you know, it seems...
And sometimes you don't necessarily have to coach them, by the way. You can just offer, hey, that's awesome to hear. If you have any issues with that interface or if you have any issues, you know, with your vocals, let me know. I'd love to help out. Or if there's any questions you have while you're doing this, I'm happy to answer them. As long as obviously your experience level is at the point where it is understood that you are better than them. Or there's some sort of like, you know what I'm saying? Like if someone offers me advice and they're like brand new, then I'm going to look at them with like, what? Get out of here. But like, you kind of see what I'm saying here. But if you have advice that they want, just saying you're willing to help out is usually enough value to add, just the thought of it, to where when the opportunity comes up that you can throw your name in the hat, where it actually makes sense, you've already added value to the situation.
That's awesome. So so let's say you've done that. You've added value by offering them some sort of free advice or future coaching, or you've coached them on moving their monitors back from their wall. That's something we talked about before. Mm-hmm. There are different services that you can provide, and just to sort of power through those, because we're getting
pretty close to time.
Of the episode here is the first one is mixing. That is sort of like the baseline. Okay, you finished recording, and you're a beginner, so you didn't do a very good job. Now mixing is going to be way more challenging than if you had recorded properly in the first place. Offering, hey, you can come over, you could even be as aggressive as to say, do your own mixes, send me your session files, and then I'll finish your mixes for you. And you can come over and we'll make them awesome. We'll use your mixes as a starting point.
Yep.
Another one is editing. You could explain, I think this is a harder upsell, or a harder way to add value here. But hey, if you're having trouble with your performances, you know, I'm a great editor. You can show up and I can take a so-so vocal performance and make it incredible. That's interesting. You're pitching, helping them with their performance there, which is fundamentally different than I can make your snare sound good.
I don't know. Some people are snare sluts. I'm a snare slut.
This next service, I mean, obviously I'm going to pitch this here, is mastering. If you provide mastering services and someone says, hey, I'm recording, mixing, and mastering myself, just to even say, oh, all right, well, man, that's awesome. Please, if you're working on songs, I'm in the midst of it, feel free to send me an MP3 and just say, hey, what do you think of this? Especially when you get to the mastering stage, that can be one of the most difficult stages to clear for a home studio musician because you start to second guess yourself a lot. Very, very true. And if they get to the mastering stage and they start second guessing themselves a lot, they're going to think about what you just said. And they're going to be like, they might reach out to you just to try to pump you for free information. And you have to have a backbone here. You have to at some point say, hey, you know, I've got a client that's on their way in. I gotta go. Or, boy, you know, that's probably the most I should say on the subject, because if I say any more, it's just going to get confusing and overwhelming. Honestly, I'd really recommend that you think about professional mastering, whether that's me or somebody else. I love that phrase. When I'm on the phone with somebody, hey, if you're thinking about doing that yourself, whether you hire me or somebody else, just don't use Lander. Or just don't. I'm going to do another burn here. Just don't have disc makers do it for you.
Oh my God. Yeah. All right. So let's just say you've gotten this down. You have found out, first of all, is this the best thing for them or not? If they're going to record themselves, you are willing to lose the gig. You found out why they want to record themselves versus going with a professional, if you can kind of dig deeper on that. And then you found ways to add value. Most people, if they even made it this far, they're just going to like say, okay, Godspeed, go do your life, and I'll see you again next time. But the reality is that's the worst possible thing you could do. The next step, and the step that everyone seems to forget in this scenario, is to follow up with them. You've done all this work to add value. You've done all this work to nurture this person. You've done all this work to find out all the answers to all these questions. And then you fail to follow up. You've just wasted all your time and effort that you just spent on this person. And when you follow up with them, what will happen, and this actually, we were reading some of the comments in the Facebook Live that we were doing right now during this. Someone was talking about how they had a band come back to them after originally going to record themselves. He ended up working with them. And that's going to happen time and time and time and time again, because people then realize they see it on paper. They see, oh, this guy charges $5,000 to record an EP, but I can go buy all the gear for a studio and do it all myself and save a ton of money. And then they don't realize, holy shit, this is really hard.